I must share with you an incredible story that happened to me this morning. Last night I was coughing. My wife asked me in the middle of the night to leave the room to sleep somewhere else so I could let her sleep. I took my blanket, I took my pillow, and I believe I took my glasses and went to another bedroom, went to sleep. This morning I woke up, I couldn't find my glasses. I looked high and low, I looked on the floor, I went back to the room, I looked here and there, they were nowhere to be found. And for most people, that would be difficult. For me, it's incredibly difficult because my prescription is 13. I cannot see anything without my glasses. And after 15 minutes of searching and worried that I was not going to make it to the coastal this morning for Nate's, I took a second, a minute, and I just stopped and I thought. I said, what's going on here? If such an unusual occurrence is happening, and it hadn't happened to me for many, many years that couldn't find my glasses like this. It must be that Hashem is coming to tell me something. There must be some deeper message going on over here. And I took a minute to think, and I said, you know what? Last night, I was just before going to sleep, I was reading I have a custom that when I go to travel abroad, I purchase a book of wisdom from the bookstore, and I've gained much, much wisdom from these books in my travels. And it happened to be that my last trip, I purchased a certain book, and it was a very, very important topic. But the language of the author was not refined. There were many improper words there, numerous improper words there, and it bothered me a little bit last night. But I just kind of skimmed over it. I said, I'll just pass over these words. Now, as I was sitting without my glasses and thinking, I said, perhaps Hashem is trying to tell me that my eyes should not be exposed to such language. And I said, you know what, Hashem? If I find my glasses, I'm going to take that book and throw it into the garbage. I looked down on the bed. I muffled through the sheets. I looked through the sheets, and they were right there. The glasses were right there amongst the sheets. And I realized at that moment a very powerful idea. Guarding our eyes doesn't just mean guarding our eyes from improper things that we see, people dressed improperly or improper pictures, improper words as well. Words which are not refined and dignified, and which are not meant for a Jewish um, eyes to be seen. Because the eyes, the Zohar says, are the portals to the neshama. They go straight into the neshama. Whatever goes into the eyes goes straight into the neshama. And the Baba Sali was once asked, how did you reach your high madrigas in serving Hashem? He said, I guarded my eyes. I guarded my eyes. Because someone who guards his eyes, so he's guarding his neshama. This is the way that we could guard our neshama. So I'm very thankful to Kadosh Baruch Hu. I'm very thankful for him taking away my glasses. I'm very thankful for him teaching me this powerful lesson that even though Chachma B'goyim Tamim, that there's certainly great wisdom in the nations of the world and they have a lot to teach us, but you should not learn from anybody whose language is improper. You should not read anything which language is improper. Shimshon Pincus was very, very stringent about this idea. He said you have to be very, very careful what you let into your home and what you let into your head. Right? What you read makes a very, very big impact on you. In fact, Rav Moshe Feinstein was once criticized heavily by a Jewish group who criticized one of his rulings, and um, he replied back to them. He says, "Your criticism is coming from sources outside of Torah, even though it's guised in kedusha and holiness. It's coming from sources outside of Torah. These eyes have never seen anything except for Torah. They've never read anything except for Torah, and everything I say is pure das Torah. What you're saying is coming from outside Torah. We have to be very, very careful to let our eyes only see the things which will elevate us, which will enhance us, will bring us closer to the service of Hashem. And anything which will distance from us, we have to take it and throw it in the garbage and never read it again because it's very, very dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous things possible. Right? If we take food which is dangerous, it affects our body. But if we read things which are dangerous, we see things which are dangerous, it affects our neshama, which is seated inside the brain, and that is one of the most dangerous occurrences that could possibly happen to a Jew. Let's all learn from the story today, and myself foremost, that be very, very careful what you expose your eyes to. Even though we should certainly learn from the wisdom of the world, but be careful what you let in. Be careful that the author is somebody who doesn't use improper language. Be careful that the author is somebody whose ideas are ideas which are ideas of growth and ideas of destruction. And most of all, let's turn to Hashem, that we should have siyata d'shmaya. Every single thing we do should be tempered with Hashem's guidance. Amen.